What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tailgate Turf Talks. All right, in this one, we are going to be talking about moisture management in two different scenarios. So we're going to talk about it in an existing lawn and how to manage it, and also if you're doing a full renovation, what should your moisture management strategies look like? All right, so let's get into an existing lawn, which most of us have. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you are getting about 1 inch of water per week down on your lawn. As we get ready to go into these warmer months, that may vary depending on what the temperature is and the humidity. So just because it is hot outside doesn't mean that you've got to dump a lot more water on there if it is extremely humid. So you also need to look at your possible microclimates, as in, are you full sun or do you have a decent amount of shade cover, which is going to help hold that moisture. So those are a couple of things to consider when putting down that inch of water per week. The next thing is you want to space out those watering cycles. You want to allow the top level of soil and also your leaf blades to dry out. Right now, you do not want to keep your leaf blades wet. With that, it is going to increase the disease pressure. So when we talk about spacing out those watering cycles, I typically go 2 or 3 times per week with my watering cycle. If it's heavy shade, which I have in my back, I go with 2 watering cycles per week. We all may need a little bit of help when it comes to moisture management, especially if you are a non-irrigated lawn. So there are products like Hydratane. Hydratane is definitely a product that I have seen help hold moisture. I particularly like using Hydratane on my edges of my driveway, sidewalks, anything that is a hard concrete or asphalt surface. It is a good area to apply Hydratane, but applying it across your whole lawn, which I plan to do this year, will definitely be a benefit. So look into products like this if you need a little bit of help to make sure you keep some of that moisture in the soil. So with that being said, I know somebody that's actually doing a full renovation right now that would be a little better to cover their moisture management level. Hey, yo, Turf, I'm gonna toss this one over to you and talk to the people and let them know how you managing that water over there in Germany.
What's going on, Cam? What's it gonna take to get you out here to Germany, bruh? Before we get started, new grass is much like a baby. Yeah, when it gets too warm, she's upset. When it gets too cold, he's all cranky. And I just want to tell you, just like I was told as a new parent, it's okay, you're doing a great job. And what I mean by that is, look, the grass is gonna be finicky. So just hang tight, hang in there, and just wait for her to mature a little bit up. Now, when it comes to the actual waiting for the germination of your seed, you want to ensure that you maintain moisture throughout the entirety of the lawn. This is when you get the baby in. 10, 15 minutes per cycle, 3 to 4 times a day, depending on your microclimates, the humidity of the day, the wind, all those elements matter. And the best thing that you have to make sure you stay on top of that is your eyes. You gotta go out there, you gotta look. And something that's really good at helping you gauge that moisture is peat moss. I top dressed with peat moss, and it was a really good indication for me to know when I had enough moisture and when I didn't. Now, once you get past the germination phase, that's when things get a little bit tricky. And what I mean by that is, as Cam said, typically, cool season lawns want anywhere from 1 to 1.5 inches per week. What I found through this renovation process is it wants at least 2 inches per week, period. And the weather isn't even that extreme here in Germany, so if you're in a transition zone like Cam, you may find yourself needing 2, 2.5, maybe even 3 inches per week, depending on how your sun pattern is around your home. But what's most important when you're putting down 2.5 to 3 inches of moisture per week is when you do it. Spacing those watering cycles out is crucial so you can still encourage those roots to dive deep. Now, a little stress isn't bad. Actually, some would argue a little bit of stress is good. Just like on the body, when you're lifting weights, you don't really get any gain until you feel a little bit of pain. So it's okay to let the grass stress out a little bit, but you want to make sure that you don't have to do the same thing in the spring and or in the fall that you just went through with your full renovation. So again, using your eyes, watching your climate, watching the grass respond to the water management that you're giving it is going to be crucial. So pretty much everything else is the same based off what Cam said when it comes to the cultural practice of water management. I'm only adding to that in your particular circumstances, your roots aren't as developed as a fully established lawn would be, so you may need to apply a little bit more moisture, but still make sure you maintain the deep interfrequent habits of nature when you're doing it. And of course, you can always use a tool in your box like Hydrotain as a water management tool. Well, that pretty much wraps this one up, guys. We'll see you next time. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. We working.